All right, example 3. I want you to write yourself a note that says to read the problem. And I'd like you real quick to look at the graph on page 347 that goes with this problem. Please ignore the table. Just look at the graph. Pause me until you are ready and looking at that graph so that way the things that I say will make sense to you. So on the graph, we see f of x, g of x, and h of x. So f of x is the red graph that we see there. That's representing city A. So for 5 years, we can see, well, we don't really see how high that one reaches in 5 years, but the graph is representing all 3 cities over a 5-year period. It's representing their population. And notice f of x is linear. It's going to keep going at the same rate all the time. But g of x, city B, is quadratic. So it's going to go up much quicker than f of x. So notice in the first 4 years, the population of city A was greater than the population of city B, but then you can see that city B is going to catch it and pass it. And then the last one, city C, it seems like their population's the lowest, but notice this one is exponential. That means the variable is up in the exponent area. This will increase much faster than the other two. The question that we are being asked is, when will that happen? After how many years will that happen? So we're going to make a table, and we don't really need values before the 4th year because we can see on the graph that they gave us that city C is not even close to them at the 4th year. In fact, I would like to say let's start at the 7th year and then go from there. So close your book because I want you to be thinking about how to do this. But we're going to plug in a 7 and then we can decide if we need to go higher or lower than that for the next number. So what you'll do is on each of these functions, you'll plug a 7 inside these parentheses. Make sure with this 5 up here, you might do the 7 minus 5 and just do 2 squared. All right, so pause me and calculate those 3 values and then come back and see what they are. All right, so you should have gotten 22.4, 12.25, and 4. So notice h of x is still significantly smaller than the other 3. F of x, which will be going up at the least rate, is still the highest population because the others haven't caught up yet, but the others will pass. So let's think of another number we would like to try. I don't feel like we need to try 8 because 4 is still so low in comparison to 22. So what if we try 9? So pause me and plug 9 into the parentheses of these 3 functions. All right, you should have gotten 28.8, 20.25, and 16. So notice 16 is pretty close to passing 20. It's catching up there. It still has a little way to go to hit 28, but because I know exponential functions can increase so quickly, I'm just going to start going up by 1 now, because this passing that we're looking for is going to happen soon. So now pause me, plug 10 in to each of those x values to find your y's. All right, you should have found we have now caught city A. H of x is now as high as f of x. And every moment past the 10th year now, because 10, this is time in years, right? So at the 10-year mark, we've caught f of x and we're going to be faster than them from now on. We definitely passed g of x and we will continue to be faster than them from now on. Let's just confirm it, because we haven't quite passed f yet, right? So let's think about what that means. Pause me, find these 3 values, and then come back. All right, you should have found in the 11th year this third city is significantly more populated than the other 2. So what we could do is, for our answer to the question is, in what year does city C's population exceed the other 2? We're going to say that it's sometime between 10 and 11 years is when it will happen. And thereafter. It will never have less of a population than the others. I felt like making a pandemic joke here, but I'm not going to. So for this problem, you don't have to put the try it in your notes. You can go ahead and go on to Pearson Realize and go through the assignment that I have given you there. And then tomorrow we will have a review assignment, then a quiz, then another review assignment, and then a test on Friday.